Made 5 grand this week as a 20-year-old day trader in college. Um, this week was beautiful. Bunch of nice short setups. It was nice. Besides Good Friday, I mean, it's always good to have a week off or a day off. I mean, but I really wanted to trade Friday, but that's all right. That's cool. That's fine with me. But anyways, coming into this market open on Sunday, we see an overnight gap. We also see a massive wick. We come up and we manipulate through those highs, take out this high right here, and then we can see we're obviously dumping. And then on ES, this is where I took my trade because I like to set up a little more. When market opens, we see a dump, we see it take out this low and then reject. I didn't take any shorts here quite yet. I was waiting for more confirmation as we were going into a 5-minute bullish order flow right here. That being said, we come into this fair value gap, dump back down. We still don't take out these lows. We don't close below these lows, so I'm not looking for a short yet. And then coming in here, we get internal manipulation, we get this high swept out, and then we see sellers come into place. On the 1 minute, we see the inverse fair value gap take place. We also see a change in state of delivery. We are now bearish on the 1 minute. I didn't take my trade yet because I just wanted the 5 minute to be bearish. And on NQ, this 5 minute closed below. So if NQ is closing below into bearish order flow, I have conviction that ES was going to do the same. So coming into that, and we did have a massive seller wick, a lot of selling volume here, as you can see. So I waited for that. We see this fair value gap on the 1 minute. We see reject. After the first time we rejected out of it, I took my short, put my stop above the 5-minute fair value gap, and then I put my take profit. Take profit was there. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It was something like this. But anyways, it was liquidity and also the bottom of the gap. This is a beautiful trade for me. 1 to 5. I mean, absolutely beautiful setup. Everything you need to know is there. From the higher time frames, everything was lining up perfectly. Even on ES, we take out this previous high as well. It's just liquidity is sweeping. We see the high volume, a bunch of orders were filled here when we swept and we went downwards. We're looking for sells. Market told us in the morning we were looking for sells. It's just all the banks are waiting to get a better price to sell at, and that's where they found it. Stopped all the retail traders out, but trade with the banks and you always win. Beautiful setup. So Monday, paid about 2 grand, about 500, not 500, about 1,000 on 2 accounts. And then on Tuesday, if we look at the markets, this is a perfect seek and destroy setup we had here. We take out Tokyo lows and Tokyo highs during London session, and then we come up and we take out London highs when New York opens, and we also take out previous liquidity. ES, same thing. Took my trade on ES again. Perfect seek and destroy. I'm looking to the bottom of London session as my take profit. Close on my trading session. Close that indicator out. But this is beautiful. Absolutely A+ setup. Once this liquidity was swept, we see sellers come in. Then we're looking for internal manipulation, which we have here, right? We have liquidity swept on the 1 minute. We have the inverse fair value gap. Inverse on this candle, stops above here. Take profit was down here. And then we ended up chopping up a storm. I guess liquidity was swept here. We just reversed. I put my stops at break even at that point. After all these sellers, I wasn't feeling when I was down to a 1 to 2.5. I don't want to lose any money on this. I put my stops at break even and I ended up making no money. So that was disgusting. This is literally a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful setup. But we just went sideways today. I made no money. I actually made a video about this saying, if you traded this, you're a dumbass. I traded it because everything else looked so good. It was a beautiful setup. It was a seek and destroy setup to the T. but we just ended up chopping. I made no money, which sucks, and that's even worse because it ended up playing out. But since I trade on a funded account, it would not have mattered because when the session closes, you're forced to close out of your trade, and then of course that's when big profit would have been hit. But that being said, it's fine. I mean, I'm taking this trade any day of the week. I already know that, but whatever. If I played with live capital, this is free money. Um, but yeah, this looking at this setup is absolutely beautiful, and honestly could have targeted lower. But seeing this internal manipulation, especially after we saw Monday have external manipulation on the 1 hour or higher time frames, right? We already see this manipulation over here, right? And then we get even more internal manipulation. So on the 5 minutes, we see all this rejection. It's beautiful. You can tell sellers are coming into place. The seek and destroy model, I swear, it will always play out. It is one of the best setups I've ever used. The sellers, yeah, this was a beautiful trade. I'm not going to complain about this at all. On Wednesday, again, like all these setups are just textbook setups for me. We see internal liquidity swept. We also see low resistance highs over here also getting swept. We're tapping back into this 5 minute fair value gap on EF. And Q does all the sweeping as well, but doesn't quite tap that fair value gap, right? So that's why I was looking at ES again. But we're rejecting it. We've rejected out this fair value gap many, 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 many times. I was looking to reject out of it once more. Um, So after we see this liquidity being swept, we see all these low resistance liquidity here, relatively equal highs over here. We get them swept. You see buyers coming to place right here. We wait for more confirmation. We see change in the state of delivery on the 1 minute, right? And we also see this fair value gap being formed. Wait till it gets tapped into the fair value gap. I don't take my trades the moment I enter. Once the moment price enters a fair value gap, I wait for the candle to close outside of it just to give me more confirmation. I like to play a little safer. But yeah, we're in a 1 minute downtrend after it's taking out a bunch of liquidity. Then we have low resistance liquidity down here. We also have a bunch of fair value gaps that need to be filled right here. So that being said, I entered my trade after this 1 minute close, but my stops above the recent high. Put my take profit at these relatively equal lows in the 1 minute. And there was also this 5 minute fair value gap. So I wasn't looking to hold through this just because I figured maybe there's going to be kind of like a bigger retrace down here or something, and I wasn't really wanting to trade it. So closed it out there, still 2 to 4 about. So this was again beautiful, beautiful, beautiful textbook trade, especially after we filled this overnight gap. We have no more buyers. No more buyers. They're all full. They're all like everyone's selling after this gap is full. So this gives me super good confirmation. Target it. We hit it 1 to 2.4. This plays out. Of course, it would have gone all the way down here. But then again, I didn't want to hold for another hour and a half. I was done in this short amount of time. But I'll take that. We take out the New York, the data high of New York. We take that out. Done. Dumped. Beautiful liquidity sweep and played. And there was also news today at. Sorry, I am not. It was at I think it was 11:30 Eastern time, 1:30 here. I didn't want to hold through the news, so got out before that happened. Beautiful trade, beautiful trade. And then on Thursday, the last trading day of the week, I also took sells. Reason why I took sells on Nasdaq is we're holding this 5 minute fair value gap. We're also in a clear 5 minute downtrend, right? And since market open, I knew we were looking for a draw on liquidity, and my draw down here was into this 5 minute fair value gap. and also these relatively equal lows. Took this pretty early into market open, right? We see internal liquidity getting swept. We see that internal manipulation. We see the change in the state of delivery on the 1 minute, right? See this right here. Take my sell off that, put my stop loss in the recent high and my take profit at our withdrawal of liquidity of the day. Took this a 1 to 2, easy trade, made it quick and simple. Yeah, I put my stops to break even right here. That way when I was here, I was de-risked completely. But yeah, I mean, absolute banger of a week. I've really been working on seeing the bigger picture and kind of taking my time with a lot of these trades. Besides Thursday, I kind of went a little bit faster, but taking the time to analyze the overall structure of the market, to understand where the liquidity is, to understand where the manipulation is taking place. I've really been taking a lot more time to understand the whole scheme of the market, all these like models and setups that I've learned. I've been putting into place a lot more effectively this week, because every single one of these trades, I would say, was an A plus setup. Besides maybe um, Thursday's trade. Thursdays, I'm still giving like an A. But every single trade I took on ES was an absolute A plus setup. Bummer that this one didn't play out, but you know what? What can you do about it? That's just kind of the way of life. I am gonna start trying to implement more partials, taking partial profits. I'm usually a guy that just puts a stop loss and a take profit, and then a place where I want my break even to put into place. Like for example, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but after this low was swept over here, I put my stops to break even here. Just because it kind of helps me mentally to hold throughout a trade, knowing that I have no more risk and I can't lose the trade. Maybe I won't win money on it, but just preserving that capital is very important to me. But taking partials would have kept this a winning day, which is all right. But that's just something I need to kind of play around with, if taking partials will affect the overall profit I make, or if in a good way or in a negative way. So that's something I'm working on as a trader, back testing, seeing what works best for me. But overall, my mental and overall view of the market this week was phenomenal. I mean, I think all of these trades are A plus. Yeah, but yeah, obviously I sold the market 4 times. So if you want to learn how to make money day trading in Trump markets, just fucking click the sell button and you're good. Not financial advice, I promise. Alrighty, thank you guys for watching. Hit the subscribe button, join the free Discord if you want to kind of learn more on a personal level. I'm working on building up the Discord. Just trying to get a bunch of members in there. It's a super small. You can see my channel has 30 subs, but I'm telling you, this knowledge I'm dishing out is literally going to help you for the rest of your life. Anyways, fellas, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.